So let's talk about fat. Yes, again, let's talk about animal fat. And let's talk about one aspect of animal fat in your diet that we haven't really focused on before. Now, the thing about animal fat is it's mostly saturated fat, and that's the type of fat we've been told for years, for decades, is dangerous, it's bad for us, it's going to cause heart disease, we should avoid it. And so we've been pushed towards largely a plant-based, low-fat diet. And that's not the point of this video, although I want to mention that all the science now is showing very, very clearly that saturated fat does not cause heart disease, does not increase your risk of heart disease. It's not bad for you at all in any way. Okay, now here is an article which I've spoken about before in previous video, and I'm going to link a video down here underneath in the notes and also at the end of this video about saturated fat in particular and the science that says it's not dangerous. Okay, so if you are one of the people who still believes that saturated fat is dangerous and harmful to your health, please go and look at the video down there and print off this article. Okay, I'm going to talk to you quickly about this. This is an article that appeared in August 2020, so that's like 5-6 years ago, in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. Now that is the industry-wide body in the United States responsible for the ongoing education of cardiologists, heart surgeons. This is what heart surgeons are supposed to be keeping up to date with. Now, I know a lot of them don't because they just don't have time. I get that. But here is a review and an assessment on all the studies that have been done on saturated fat. And the bottom line is that saturated fat does not increase your risk of heart disease, and advising people to go on a low-fat diet is a mistake. And they implore heart surgeons, cardiologists, to make sure they do not tell their clients to cut down on saturated fat. Now, I know, as I say, this was 5 or 6 years ago. Old habits die hard, clearly. All right, so let's get that out of the way. Saturated fat is not bad for you. But the point of this video is to tell you another reason why it's actually very important that you do include saturated fat and you eat more of it. It's not just because it's not dangerous, it's actually very, very beneficial. So welcome to Shape Fixer. I'm Andrew, I'm a nutritionist, I'm a biologist, and I am on a carnivore diet, so I eat a lot of saturated fat, which is basically animal fat. And the things I wanted to mention to you today, I wanted to talk about what you get out of animal fat that you don't get in non-animal fat or unsaturated fats. And those are vitamins and essential nutrients that only come from eating animal fat. And those are vitamins A, D, E, and K. Okay, vitamin A is retinol. Vitamin A, retinol only comes from animal sources. You cannot get retinol from eating anything else. Now, you can make a little bit of retinol if you eat a lot of beta-carotene, which is a chemical that is found in plants, in carrots in particular. But it's a very inefficient process, and you have to eat a lot to be able to make enough retinol. And about 30% of all people in the world can't do it at all because we don't have the genes to actually do it. So you really need to eat animal fat to make sure you get enough retinol. Vitamin A is in animal fat. That's what you have to eat. Okay. The next one is vitamin D3. Now, there are a number of vitamin Ds, D1, D2, D3. D2 comes from plants. D3 is cholecalciferol. That is the proper vitamin D that we need in our bodies to regulate our calcium and to prevent osteoporosis. And we produce it in our skin when we're exposed to the sun. But mostly the D3 that we produce in our skin is a response to the sun because it then acts as a natural sunscreen. So people with more pigmented skin, darker skinned people, produce way less vitamin D3 because they already have the pigment to protect them from the sun. So really you need it in your diet. And again, D3 only comes from animal sources. The best source of vitamin D3 is fish oil or cod liver oil. But you get it in fat from most animals, D3. Then the vitamin E's, and I say E's because there are something like 8 different chemicals that are all considered to be one or other type of vitamin E. And vitamin E's generally have a very antioxidant property. They're not, to be honest, as essential as the other vitamins. It has been shown since the definitions came out that vitamin E it's a nutrient, it's a useful nutrient. It probably shouldn't be classed as a vitamin, but it is. And then vitamin K2, again, there's K1, there's K2. K2 is the mammal version. K1 is a plant version. Eating the plant version doesn't work for you. You can convert it to K2, but again, it's a very complicated, very difficult process. A proper herbivore, like a cow, does it very well. So you eat the cow and you get the cow's fat and you get the vitamin K2 from the cow. Okay, vitamin K2 is very important for bone metabolism and for blood clotting. And then choline, which is an essential nutrient. It's not classed as a vitamin, but it's an essential nutrient. And choline is in cheese and eggs, and it's similar to an amino acid, and it's a very important building block in a lot of the proteins that we make. And again, choline comes from predominantly animal products. So eating animal products and eating the fat is very important for the so-called fat-soluble vitamins that are so essential to us. A, for our eyesight. D, for bone strength. E, which is an antioxidant and is good for your immune system. And K2, which is good for cell membranes and muscle function and bone metabolism. So there you go. Advantages of animal fat, which is saturated fat, which is not harmful to your health. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to our channel and make sure you keep up to date with all the research so you know what you're talking about and you're better placed to make decisions about your own health rather than just relying on outdated myths and things that people have believed for a long time that were never actually based in real research in the first place.